trees are ready here. Welcome to Chicago. Yeah, we were here this morning. They had a, this is in front of Michigan Plaza here, Michigan and Lake. Here's the last remnants of it. They had a milk bottle promotion for the Indianapolis 500. So I was able to capture it this morning, and it's already gone. There it is. Yeah, they're putting it back on the trucks there. So it's a traveling display there for the Indianapolis 500, and it's the milk there, and they're putting it back on the truck there. So here, we'll head over to Millennium Park. It's pretty windy, so we'll see how this goes. I'm just going to try to film the, hey, they got Nando's open. They got the windows open. Look how they open up that second floor there. It's a really nice view. If you go up there and have Nando's there, the peri peri chicken piece, you can look. There comes a police paddy wagon. Look at that, it's the paddy wagon. My goal in life is to never end up in the back of a Chicago paddy wagon there. Let's see. We'll see how it goes. Hey, how's everybody doing there? Thanks for tuning in there. And really, Julie Reed there, Krista. Very lucky guy there. Yeah, Big Rick Tongue. Yeah, that's the 205 North Michigan there. Krista, how you doing there? Chris Schultz, East Lansing there. Bell. Yeah, and ECG there. How you doing there? So it's really windy. It's really windy. We're going to pass. It should get better, hopefully, once we get in the park. The canyons of the tall buildings here funnel the wind. The Chicagoans know. Here's Garrett's Popcorn, 75 Years of Magic. Of course, you can order it online. We always go, here, coming soon, Rainbow Cone. Their game Rainbow Cone's coming soon here. Just in time for summer here. Auntie Anne's Cinnabon. You have your Cinnabon here, so at least there's a few new restaurants. I don't know if we got the scaffolding on the Smurfit and Stone building there. Okay, we'll get the light here. I'm just happy to see the green trees. We saw the tulips on Michigan Avenue. They were just beautiful. Thanks everybody that tuned in over yesterday when we were on TikTok. We went down to Pullman and the east side, the south side, and Jackson Park. We saw the Japanese gardens. I'll post that. I'm still working on the ray runs. There's the compost, waste not compost truck. There's a composting truck. There's the bike lane. I've ridden that bike lane. Hey, you got the tennis racket here. Heading over to the tennis courts. Look at that. Here's Michigan Avenue. It's looking good. Again, 69 degrees. We're almost to 70. Noon time here. We're going to get to 80 degrees, even by the lake, which is rare this time of the year because the lake's only 40 degrees. So here, we'll head down Michigan Avenue. We'll head over to the Bean here. Hey, they're checking out the map here. And look at the trees. Spring has sprung. Turning a corner here. I know we'll still have cooler weather later this week, but we'll enjoy today. That's what it's all about. Hey, hopscotch in there with Joe Asco. Belle, how you doing there? Sharon, thanks for tuning in there. Prim, how you doing there? Yeah, this is Chicago. This is Millennium Park here. So, hey, Michigan Avenue. Let's go check out the tulips here. Wes, how you doing there? Yeah, Prim. Yeah, where? where are you tonight? Why'd you leave me here all alone? I've searched the world over and thought I found true love. And you were gone. I can't believe that's stuck in my head. I think that's from Hee Haw. Is that from Hee Haw? I don't know what triggered that in my memory. No, it shows you the vast wasteland of television, all these jingles and songs and sitcoms and does anybody remember that? Yeah. Julie knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, thanks for tuning in here. Welcome to Chicago. Yeah, let's check out the flowers here. Bean here. I'm just so happy with yesterday. The weather was great. Today the weather's great here. Here, let's check out these daffodils here. So we got tulips. These tulips are pretty wild here. Look at these. They're all flared out. Right, we got some daffodils. Look at it's very, beautiful, fragrant. The smell of these ornamental trees and all these tulips and daffodils are pretty nice here. Hee Haw, Belle. Yeah, Belle, you know what I'm talking about. They would always sing that song at the end there, right? Yeah. Oh, I cracked myself up. Here, let's, so we're pretty even with Washington Street here. This is Millennium Park, Chicago. Again, 70 degrees. I'm just going to say 70. And we're gonna, we've done this walk last week. It should look better today because we got sunshine. We'll walk over into Lakeshore East because they got some nice flowers over in this area. And then we'll head over to the river. I'll try to cruise by that 400 Lakeshore site because I know people they want an update. I'm so behind in the reruns. I got content coming out my ears. There's even stuff from, I didn't even post a rerun of the Dogzilla on Friday. So many people asked for what a Chicago style hot dog looks like. I got to post that. And my friend Dave there, we went to Byron's there. And then all my South Side and West Side friends will be, how dare you post a North Side hot dog? You didn't go to, Jim's Original there in Maxwell Street, get the true Maxwell Side Street Polish. It's an anathema, but I like Byron's. If we go to Wrigley Field, I'll go to Byron's, which is on Irving Park. It's a good hot dog joint there. But we got reruns of Mamos there in Pilsen. You go see the Cheech and Chong. Hey, look, they got the selfie stick there. Look at the people taking the pictures here in front of the bean there. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, see everybody's waving there. Yeah, good group there. People here all around. Hey, the Great Bean of Chicago is looking nice. Yeah, Christopher's tuning in there. We got 70 degrees there. Hopefully you're having such nice weather there on the East Coast as well. It's hot in the South there. Look at these people posing for pictures. See, nice weather brings everybody out to Millennium Park here. Do they have the Crown Fountain on? Let's see if they got the Crown Fountain on. I hear something. And it might just, it's something else. They're steam cleaning the sidewalk. See, I thought the fountain was on and they're just steam cleaning the sidewalk. Yeah, the weather's beautiful, Will. Thanks for tuning in here. It's a great beat of Chicago. So here, we'll go give you an overlook of the Park Grill here. Playing the music. Yeah, look at the trees here. People sitting on the benches here. Yeah, Double Clutch Brewing Company's open here. Here's the Great Bean of Chicago here. This 12 noon in Chicago. 70 degrees here. We'll head underneath here and show you the beautiful reflection of the skyline there. There I am. How you doing there? See, Brian Really Chicago. There you can see me there. See, you can reach out and touch the bean. That's the nice thing about it. You can bonk your head on the side there. Yeah, see, she's touching it. And you can look up and see yourself multiple times there. See? Yeah, there you go. That's how you do it. Oops. Yeah, see, you can see yourself reflected in the bean. Take a picture of yourself in the bean, and that's why it's so nice, And here we'll head over. Let's go over to Lurie Gardens here. We'll check out the spring foliage on this beautiful 70-degree summer-like day, April the 28th, 2025. Yeah, come back and visit. Yeah, come now that the weather's nice. Appreciate it. Yeah, it's always time for that. And under the bean, see how many sculptures like that. See, I know New York has their version of the bean that developer put it, but you can't walk underneath that one. That's kind of, this is the original bean here. And it's good. Art imitates life. There's so many things that Chicago has copied from New York. Well, I don't mind New York copying something from Chicago, but I know most New Yorkers, they're critical of it too. I saw Dan All Day New York City filmed the New York bean there, and he's just like, it's just not as good. That's coming from Dan, All Day New York City. See, they're steam cleaning the stairs here. They clean them off. Here's the Crown Fountain here. They'll get this going later. They don't have the water going yet. Hey, people having picnics here. Look at the beautiful red buds. Look at the red buds blooming here. This is going towards, oops. This is going towards Art Institute. Sometimes they use these plazas for events and stuff. They'll put tents here. And here's the bridgeway, the Nichols Bridgeway that gets you to the Art Institute. There's the bean. And here's the, yeah, these tulips. I guess this is the style of these tulips. They like flare out like stars instead of having the cup. Their leaves are different. I don't know if it's these got burnt by the cold weather or if this is how these tulips are supposed to look. There's the Pritzker Band Show. We film it all the time there. We'll head over that way. We'll go into Lakeshore East there after we go through the Lurie Gardens here. And so yeah, you can take the Nichols Bridgeway. This will take you right into the modern wing of the Art Institute of Chicago. Nah, see, there's positive, negatives, everything. Some people like Chicago more than New York. Some people like New York more than Chicago. You know, that's the nature of things, you know. And positive, negatives, everything. There's some things that, you know, New York does better than Chicago. There's some things Chicago does better than New York. We can learn from each other, you know, and big cities got big city problems. And if you don't live in a big city, you're probably thankful for that. But there's many things that cities can provide that other areas can't, you know, and that's why people still travel to visit here. People still tune in to see what's happening, and that's why this has value. And, you know, we're all connected here. Here, look at the Lurie Gardens here. The nice flowers here. Yeah, you can sit there in the hedge there. You got all the daffodils. And look how nice. So the tulips didn't do too well in the Lurie Gardens this year. Claire Ashley, they got some artwork there. Some virtual reality artwork. If you download the app there, you can look at it through your goggles or your phone there. But Lurie Gardens, you know, this will change as the season goes through the different perennials and annuals and tall grass, prairie style. And it's just nice that, you know, right this close to the loop here, we got this rooftop garden on top of parking underneath here. And they have a canal feature here. We'll head across through here. Yeah, here's this canal-like feature. People sometimes put their foot in there when it gets warmer. Throw pennies in there. Hey, how you doing, Jason there? No, you don't need a car. I've lived in Chicago for 26 years without a car. Now, you know, every once in a while you got to rent a car or use a car to transport moving something, or, you know, you got Ubers. You can pay for services. There's that Louis Sullivan gate there. We filmed that before, but we'll head up to, we'll cross the BP Bridge here. Hey, that's a nice view. Look, you can look back to the Sears Tower, 55 Monroe. Look at these buildings there, the Willoughby Tower. And here we're going to head this way towards the Aon. Blue Cross Blue Shield building. There's Prudential's. And see, they're working on the Pritzker Band Show here. See, they kind of moved it around. They were on the other side, now they're moving around. And there's a map here if you need a map here. Millennium Park here, Chicago, Illinois here. But yeah, see, they're doing, hopefully they'll get that open before the Blues Fest. Anita, how you doing there? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're doing well, Anita. Yeah, I know you've been going through a lot lately, and we hung out with Chris yesterday. Hopefully you can watch the reruns there, and appreciate, thanks for tuning in here, and everybody else here. What a beautiful day, 70 degrees. We're finally having California type weather here in Chicago. And we had some yesterday too. We had nice sunshine 2 days in a row. Beautiful weather here. Hope you're able to, you're doing much better. Thanks, Anita. So glad to hear that. Yeah, Anita's been going through some getting on the mend there, and that's good. I know you've been through a lot lately. We're very thankful and respect what you do there. You take a lot of See, positive, negatives, everything. Every job has dangers, I'm sure you can smile with what you have to deal with. People are like, I'm just walking around. People are like, oh, be careful. I'm sure you get the same thing, just like walking around California cities. Oh, be careful. Here, Blue Cross Blue Shield. I don't mean to dismiss it, just street smarts go a long way. Here's the pedestrian bridge. They call this the BP bridge. Of course, everything's corporately branded. It heads over Columbus Drive here. There's the skyline to South Loop there. Yeah, Naya, thanks everybody there. MBT. Yeah, we're glad you're feeling better there. Thanks everybody for peace, love, and sunshine. Yeah, it is a beautiful day. Always, once we get to this time of the year, I have to pinch myself because it's been cold and dreary for so long. We're like, what did we deserve to get this beautiful 80-degree weather day? And then you realize you got May, June, July, August, September, October, just 5 months of beautiful weather ahead of you. And that's when you remember why you deal with the Chicago harsh winter to live in this beautiful spot next to the beautiful lake there. The boats are returning to the harbor there on Wednesday this week. Hopefully we'll get you the bridge lift. We tried it last Wednesday, but they didn't do it. We'll see what the weather is. There's a chance of rain later this week, of course. But we'll keep you updated as the week progresses. Hey, they got playing putt-putt. Putt-putt golf course is back here. It's just a simple, they got the Portillo hot dogs and all the White Sox and Cubs and Bears and Bulls themed putting greens there. This is what we're walking across. Look at this amazing view back to the skyline there. Loop of Chicago. And it's looking nice. So they got some music there. I guess you can do, there's some inline skating. It looks like people are rollerblading. We saw, I'll post that footage from yesterday. Chris and I were down by the big giant ore walls of this Southworks steel plant site there. 80th Street and South Shore Drive near the lake. 85th Street, whatever it is there. And yeah, there was a lot of people using, or two, there was a couple, a man and a woman. They were climbing on the climbing walls there. We were talking to them, and they were in from the suburbs, and they came in to the city to use those climbing walls, and it was free. These ones I think you got to pay. Hey, they're doing putt-putt. Yeah, this boardwalk here, yeah, isn't that nice? You can just walk across here all seasons of the year. We do it in wintertime, we do it in summertime, springtime. Now it's great because of the beautiful ornamental flowering trees there, the red buds, and that's why we'll head into Lakeshore East. We got 1210. There's the playground, so we'll skip the playground, but it looks like people are swinging on the swings over there and enjoying the playground. Maggie Daly Park here. They got the whales and stuff. I mean, there is some nice trees there. Okay, we'll just cruise by there because I'm not going to go in there. I don't want to be the creepy guy walking around a playground without any kids, so we'll just stay on the outside. But I just want to show that this exists and that it's another nice amenity here if you're downtown here. They got giant slides, and there you see people swinging on the swings here. Look at that. Scenes of daily life here, just people enjoying the park. And very popular spot here. They call it the Play Garden here. See, even big kids can play in it. I'm a big kid now. Here. So here we go. The official switching on of the Buckingham Fountain and Night Out in the Parks kickoff. Saturday, May 10th. It's coming soon. So Saturday, May 10th, 10:30 to 1. So we'll probably get down there about 11 o'clock because they usually don't do it until noon. And we did it the last 2 years. We covered the turning on of the Buckingham Fountain. It's such a fun time of the year again because you realize the whole summer's ahead of you. When that fountain's on, it means it's summertime in Chicago. Everybody celebrates. They usually have bands and performers, and they hit the button there, turn on the fountain. They had dancers last year. Hey, look, people exposed skin. People are laying out and sunbathing, getting the sun rays here. Ha! April the 28th. We got "You Are Beautiful." You are beautiful chalk message there. Look at the positive people playing hopscotch here. Yeah. Look at the beautiful trees. Yeah, big girls don't cry. The pink trees, yeah, these are the, I think the pink ones are the red buds. I think these are the red bud trees. That's why we went this way. So here's the giant slides. Look at the giant slides they have here. And isn't that fun? Look at that. Well, when I was a kid, I would love that. You climb up that lighthouse, you know, peppermint pole there and slide down the tube. You get these big slides. Yeah, we'll get you a glimpse of the lake here. See, there's picnic areas. Look at the little fluffy puffs from the trees, or it looks like snow, but it's little fluffy puffs from the trees here. Look at that. And springtime. I'm amazed my allergies are doing as well as they are. They got the upside down trees here. And this is Cancer Survivors Garden is where we're going here. This is called the Play Garden. And they got giant slides over there. Maggie Davy Baby Park. But here, let's head around through here. How you doing? So here we'll head through the trees. Hey, they got some wee portalets. Yeah, there's the St. Regis. Jeannie Gang designed that. And got picnic tables. See, there's a nice picnic table area here. You can bring a picnic and just hang out in the park here. Ride a bike. The bike path's near here. Yeah, green grass. We were tiptoeing through the tulips on Michigan Avenue this morning. We'll do it tonight. We'll probably head to the beach. There's the Sears Tower. There's the housing there and other tall buildings there. Loop of Chicago. What else is going on here? Happy Monday. Yeah, Monday. 15. So I need to start moving here. Maybe make some progress. Move right around here. Yeah, Michael's tuning in there. Thanks, D. Michael. Yeah, we'll head straight up. We'll have this nice vista from the Cancer Survivors Park. We'll head up past the daffodils. Yeah, you can see Lake Michigan. There's Lake Michigan. You get a glimpse of it there from Monroe Harbor. So most of the sailboats from Monroe Harbor, when Chris and I drove by, they are not in. They got the buoys out, but most of the sailboats are not out yet. They're probably waiting. They'll be out pretty soon. And there's the vista up through the Cancer Survivors Park here, Grant Park, Chicago. We're looking north to the St. Regis there. They got all these urns. We head over here, there's an amazing view to the skyline here as we head up here. Yeah, who has a drought? Does Texas have a drought? Who's having a drought? I know. Were there wildfires in Christopher? Are there still wildfires in New Jersey? I don't know if you're still on or anybody else. It's amazing that the wildfires are popping up in places that I wouldn't expect, like South Carolina, New Jersey. I know California, you've been dealing with the wildfires, and out west there, all areas out west, they're always subject to wildfires, but even the East Coast is not immune, and that's what's amazing me now. India, how you doing there, McCool? Mukul. Thank you, appreciate it, Pete. Hazlet, Michigan, that's great. Yeah, thanks for everybody for saying hello to McCool there. India, yeah, every once in a while we get people tuning in from India. I know that's why I continue to maintain a presence on TikTok, or no, other than TikTok, I continue to maintain a presence on YouTube because I know India has a ban on TikTok, so I want you to be able to see some of my content. I don't have all my content here, just the YouTube stuff, but you get an idea of what we do here. Live streaming the views from Chicago. There, we'll head around here. There you can see through the to the aqua. Danny, how you doing there? Yeah, we speak English here. Yeah, thanks for tuning in here. Thanks for tuning in here. Pete, Michigan. Hindi. Yeah, I wish I knew Hindi. I know it's like with that conversation I had with Chris yesterday. You know, there are over 1 billion people from India. Not everybody from India speaks Hindi. I mean, we know there's thousands of languages in India, just like Indonesia and Philippines, but or at least hundreds. But yeah, Hindi's a major language in the world. Probably more people speak Hindi than English. We forget that. Hey, look at that. So there's the Randolph Street Cancer Survivors Plaza. I see they got the concerts there. There you can see Lake Michigan. Look how wide. Go ahead. I don't know why they're waiting for me. I'm always used to the cars going fast and they see a camera and then they go really slow because they're afraid of a lawsuit. I'm like, you know, just go through there like we're traveling normal. I know, I guess I'm the same way. Hey, walking the dog here, look at that. So we'll head down in the Lakeshore East. It's pretty windy, so I know we're dealing with wind today. Makes it hard to hear, but this is the Windy City. So thanks for understanding here. We'll head down. See, look, he's cleaning the windows. There's a pool in there. And the biodome there. 74. Top temperature, not bad. 74 sounds good. That's very pleasant. We might get to 80, and that's why the wind's picking up. We might have storms tonight, because anytime the weather picks up so much like that, we get some storms usually. It's always a chance this time of the year, springtime. Hey, there's the Albion, the park. There's a Greek restaurant over there. You can sit on the roof deck. You can overlook here. There's the St. Regis there. The hotels on one portion. They got residential at the top. All this is residential. Mostly there's a hotel, but most of this is residential. And the Aqua's got a hotel with residential. Aeon's commercial or office space. But here's some tulips. Yeah, let's see what else we got here. We got the water fountain. Let me get a quick drink of water here to wet my whistle here. Ah, that's good. Look at the white flowering. What are these, dogwood trees? I think these are like dogwood. And here we'll head down. And you know what? I'll just head straight down this way. I want to, if I saw. The tulips were beautiful over there, last year, but now they don't look as nice. I'm going to go straight ahead to these tulips, and maybe we'll walk over there. Oops, some other time. Yeah, let's walk over here. There's beautiful tulips straight this way. They don't have the fountains turned on yet. They got this nice playground, but here we'll walk straight across here. There's all the aqua blue. This is Genie Gang. Radisson Blue. There's the Aeon. Of course, Mariano's the dog park over there. There's a nice, usually they have nice tulips there, but for some reason, these tulips aren't blooming as much yet. Maybe they're just hidden behind the hedge there. But hey, the dogwoods are looking good. Yeah. Does this look like dogwood, or is this something else? Is this like a ginkgo tree? I don't know. I'm not an arborist, you know. But look how you can look to the Sears Tower and the Pittsfield building in between the Aeon, the Blue Cross Blue Shield there. Hey, beautiful dog there. So you can rent divvy bikes here. But here's some tulips. That's why we came over here. Look at all the tulips. See, there are beautiful tulips along this road here. Yeah, that's what we'll do. We'll check them out. See, look, all here. There's some beautiful tulips all down through there, and then along through here, and we'll head along here. Yeah, here we go. This is why I came over here. Let's walk through this little lawn area. So, yeah, along the sidewalks here, just like State Street, we got the yellow and red tulips, and then Let's see if we can get over in here. They got it all fenced off. You see how you have to almost climb a fence to get in there because they don't want people walking through and trampling. So these tulips are not budding yet. These ones are. So let's see if we can head through here, or at least we'll zoom in. Look at the beautiful tulips here. Wow, look at those colors. Yeah, look at that. Oh yeah, I'm so blessed. That's why, you know, people are like, why do you just walk around and film Chicago? Because it makes me appreciate life more. Not that it's Chicago, this could be anywhere. There's beautiful tulips in Michigan. You go to Holland, Michigan. Just no matter where you're at, just learn to appreciate the simple beauties. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just trying to stay in the moment. And look, she's checking out the, yeah, look at that. How you doing? Yeah. Beautiful yellow tulips here. Yeah. How you doing? And that's what we saw on yesterday. We went to the Japanese garden there in Jackson Park, and there were so many people out. Chris, I think we didn't even have to pay for parking. It was Sunday, right? We just drove in and out. It was great. And Jackson Park, you're right there by the Museum of Science and Industry. We were at the end of the cherry blossoms. The cherry blossoms probably peaked last week. Jay City Walking Girl got it, but we got the end of it, and there was people out in kimonos and beautiful dresses there taking photos with the flowers. It's nice to see. So here at 1224, what I'm going to do, we'll head over to DuSable Harbor and see if we see any more boats in the harbor. Now you can go up this way, you can walk up, and let's do that. We'll walk up and over. There's some yellow and purple tulips. Yeah, it was pretty trampled. It was pretty trampled. There was so many people. It was so crowded. And I can foresee all the Chicago gatekeepers saying, don't show it's not a secret spot. It's a well-known spot that's pretty heavily trafficked by tourists and Chicagoans alike. So the word's already been out. It's not me. I was like, we were acting like tourists yesterday. But look at all these garden space, how it terraces up. They got the elevators. You can get up there. Look at all these terraces. It overlooks the park here. Lakeshore East. Yeah, the cherries start. Walmart. Get the cherries there. Your mama's favorite flower. That's good. Carla, how you doing there? Yeah. Yeah, who's making demands? Someone's... McCool, you want me to check out the women? You think I'm cruising for babes here? Yeah. So here we'll cross the street here. And there we go. You got these speed humps. That's why you got to go slow. That's where we came from. Hang on. Yeah, let's head down. Here's the dogs. Hey, look at the dogs hanging out. This is called Cascade Park. And they do have a dog park, but most people just use this park. So last Saturday was the first time they opened the drawbridges for the sailboats. Last Wednesday, they do it on Wednesdays and Saturdays. Last Wednesday they did not. Probably on Saturday, I'm not for sure if they did it this Saturday or not, but I'm hoping this Wednesday we'll head along the Riverwalk. We'll try it again. Noontime on Wednesday, there's the next chance where they'll open the bridges. Now again, if the weather's bad or nobody signs up, they'll wait till Saturday. This will go on all May, all the way until June, every Wednesday and Saturday. So if you want it, the best chance for you to, if you want to watch live me here on YouTube at lunchtime on Wednesdays, check every Wednesday around noontime, the whole month of May, and this week, the last Wednesday of April. And there's a good chance, if you miss it, I'll post reruns both on TikTok and YouTube, because I know not everyone's available. No matter where I stream, there's always people saying, "Oh, I wish I would have known," you know. And I try to advertise with my little word bubble. If we're going to go to a baseball game, we're going to go to a, you know, Pullman, something historic. But it's just the nature of live streaming. Not everybody's available, so that's why we do reruns. And eventually you'll see it if it's important. And I still got to cut out the Dogzilla from Friday, Chicago style hot dog. Because we got so much footage yesterday that'll probably take me all week to catch up. What, am I going to post 50 videos and no one will see them because they just sit there and get piled on everybody else? But here, we'll head across. We just left the Cascade Park here. Here's the Cascade Park for the dogs. I got a little dog, fenced off dog area for, there's an amenity for the people that live in these buildings. We did this last week. We do this walk a lot. Yeah, sailing takes me away. Yeah, we'll hit the beach. Robert, we'll hit the beach tonight on TikTok. Yeah, we'll walk home and we'll hit Oak Street Beach. We'll hit North Avenue Beach on TikTok. I got to stick downtown because I'm heading back to work. And, you know, if I didn't spend so much time in Millennium Park and Lurie Gardens, we could have went to Ohio Street Beach. But I knew we were going to the beach tonight. There'll be more people there 5, 6 o'clock tonight. There'll be people playing sports in the park. But hey, we're going to the lakefront. We'll get to DuSable Harbor here in about 15 seconds. And we'll see the sailboats. We're heading under DuSable Lakeshore Drive. There's a bike taxi. So we'll start seeing more bike taxis out in the street. There's boats. Look, there's many more sailboats in DuSable Harbor here than Monroe Harbor. And I noticed the same thing in Belmont Harbor. We walked by Belmont Harbor on Friday. There wasn't that many boats in those harbors. But DuSable Harbor, north of the Columbia Yacht Club, and there's still, it's probably only 10% of the boats are in, because there's still a lot of empty slips here. But these are the early birds that got their boats in April in Chicago. So there's the Columbia Yacht Club. You can join that. They'll open this. There's an outdoor, I think it's called Michelle's Cafe here. Here's your pleasure crafts here. So there's regular pleasure crafts, and there's sailboats in DuSable Harbor because they don't have to go under a bridge to get to Lake Michigan. Yeah, thanks Rob. Thanks for checking it out there. There's Bada Bing number 3. People name their boats here. See, I don't even think I could afford this boat, but that's like a tender, or no, it's got a nice, it's like a fishing boat. It's got like a nice motor on it. Outboard motor. That's where we're going. We're going to go walk by the 400 North Lakeshore there. We'll give you an update on the construction progress. Yeah, somebody in the comments, I need to reply back to them. They were like, the crane operator was giving them some flack. I wonder if they work on that site there. There's Navy Pier. That's great. Thanks for tuning in here. Navy Pier here. DuSable Harbor. Yeah, so we need to go up over the bridge here. So actually I need to go, well, I can go this way because we'll walk up the stairs. I forgot that you can walk up the stairs. Hey, coming out of the portalet. That's great. Yeah, you use the facilities there. Yeah, Bada Bing. You see that? Yeah, Pete, I can't help you out. I know if you're not on TikTok, I don't blame anybody for not trusting TikTok. I can't get in this business of accommodating every single person that has different needs, and I know you have different needs because you probably don't have TikTok. I don't know how to solve this problem. I'm very frustrated with, I don't like a lot of social media platforms that I'm on because I don't trust them. I don't trust YouTube. I don't trust TikTok. The more I'm on them, the less I trust them. And here I am from a content creator that uses them a lot. There's all kinds of creepy things. You can lose your account for any time. There's all these copyright strikes. And even for posting reruns, sometimes I get penalties because it's just a robotic algorithm that funnels money to billionaires and milks us like cows. And it's the stuff we frustrate, we're people frustrated with, globalization. This is part of it. And, I have gone to Ohio Street Beach. We have gone to the beach on YouTube. It's just not as often. And if I can find any YouTube videos, I might send them your way so you can watch them. But there's so much content. There's other people that stream. Watch this Gemini. This Gemini streams a lot on YouTube Chicago content. He's great. Watch Chris Presents. He does a lot of YouTube content. I'm not the only person that does YouTube content in Chicago. I appreciate your loyalty here. But yeah, here's the Anita D. And here, look at that. There's the St. Regis. They got this sculpture here. And hey, they're working on the boat here. Look at that. Yeah, they're swapping a deck there. Getting the dinner cruise boat ready for the season. How you doing there? So we'll head right through the Riverwalk here. This is the Lakeshore Drive Bridge. There's the 400 Lakeshore there, 1233. I got to get to the other side of the bridge to film the construction site, so that's what we're doing. So we'll go through all these murals that we always go through here. Yeah. You still streaming okay? Ah, thanks, Christopher. Yeah, see, Christopher knows too. Christopher knows the frustrations of these live streaming apps and how petty they can be with their stupid algorithms, mainly TikTok. YouTube is much more forgiving. And believe, between you and me, I would stream more on YouTube if YouTube would push my videos, but they don't. YouTube doesn't really, I don't know, you know, YouTube's more set up for this Gemini. YouTube's set up for people that record and post high quality videos. It all has to do with how nice your screenshot looks, how professional your video is, because you're competing with real people that use real editing equipment. And there's the electric unicycle here heading through the Riverwalk. Hopefully they'll open the Taco Rio here pretty soon. Look, exposed skin here. We got a really warm day here. We're going to get up to 80 degrees. We're already above 70 here. And here, let's head up to, we're not going to Navy Pier, but you can get to Navy Pier this way. We're going over, just going across the bridge. We're going to check out this 400 North Lakeshore Development site here. So Wednesday we'll probably do the sailboat or the drawbridges. Hopefully we'll catch the Baskill drawbridges on Wednesday. Probably tomorrow we'll just probably head towards the South Loop. We'll probably walk through the loop. I thought about going over to State Street today because the Tulips, we're going to lose the Tulips on State Street because they peaked first, but we already got some footage of them last week in the sun. So here's the Lakeshore Drive Bridge here over the Chicago River. Yes, Mojave Desert. See, we're warmer than the Mojave Desert. That's rare, but a year earlier in the day. So, hey, look at that. There's 400 North Lakeshore Development, the North Tower. We don't even know. I think they put a halt on starting the North South Tower. Don't quote me on that. I think it has something to do with the tariffs. There's Taco Rio. There's the kayaks there. Here comes a pleasure craft. People heading underneath us here. We'll head over this way. Yeah, that's I know what you're talking about, Christopher. Yeah, I know the hashtags don't do too much on YouTube, so sometimes it's better to. Yeah, that's a good strategy. I might try that. And you've had some videos that took off, which is good. I should try that too. Here's the 400 Lakeshore. See you back to the Trump Tower. We're looking straight west on the Chicago River here. But here, let's go film this construction site here. Yeah, thanks, Christopher. I appreciate it. That's good. Overcast and windy. 79 in Texas. Okay, that's good. That's good. Hey, thanks, Christopher. Growing by leaps and bounds. Yeah, YouTube's much more work. Yeah, I would agree with that. So here's welcome to Chicago. Here's the 400 Lakeshore Development site here. Let's count the stories there. Look at the crane. The crane's moving. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. They're on the 20th story. They're already on the 20th story. Remember when we started filming this last year, this was just a hole in the ground. and look at it now, that cement mixture, they keep that mud flowing. This is the 400 North Lakeshore development site here. We'll head around and see it from the side. But see, they got the concrete there. They got the crane operator, active construction site here. This is in Streeterville, Chicago. This is DuSable Lakeshore Drive. Navy Pier's there. And here's the Chicago River right there. They're going to extend the river walk on the north side. And so let's head over here. Hey, look at the cement mixer, concrete mixer. Look at that. Yeah, you know what's coming. You know what's coming. It's going to get cold again. It's going to snow. Hey, how you doing there, Sean? Thanks for tuning in. You see how close this is to the river? There's the St. Regis, and there's Streeterville. Look at the glass curtain walls. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bottom 4 stories have the glass curtain wall. Here comes a truck for the debris. Dump truck's coming down the ramp here. So the second tower is eventually going to go there, but they probably won't start construction on it until they probably have this one topped out the way it looks. There's below us, there's the truck heading down there. I got to head around this tepid water, nasty water here. There it is, right below us there. There, 400 North Lakeshore. Yeah, Sean. So it's nice that we got all these active construction sites. It's not just this. There's the Bally's Casino site over there at Chicago and Halstead. There's the Thompson Center construction site. And there might be another construction site starting up here that we'll keep you posted on. Depending on, you know, I still haven't been able to talk to You Should Eat about it. The controversial Old Town Tower, where I was talking to Chris about it, the 36-story one that's going to go up in Old Town. A lot of people in Old Town are against it, but here, once I get past this fence, we'll get another view of the 400 Lakeshore. It's very interesting. They took the rendering down. There was the rendering of both towers, and I wonder if it has something to do with they might not do the second tower now because they're worried about the economic outlook, and it has to do with the new administration. Isn't that amazing? But here, look at that. Look at that. Look at the crane, the booms there. And they're working on the HVAC for the lower floors. This is the 400 North Lakeshore development site. So we'll head right down the Ogden slip there, and we'll head back towards the Tribune Tower. And oh man, see, I felt the bridge shake, and it's because this truck went right through there. So I'm gonna get out of here before I get run over. This is Chicago. Bush, how you doing here? Welcome to Chicago. This is called Streeterville. There's the Tribune Tower. That was the Chicago Tribune newspaper. Now it's residential. We're filming this new resident. This is going to be like 900 feet tall once it's complete. And I think it's going to be about 70 stories. It's a new residential high-rise tower going up here near Navy Pier in Chicago, Illinois, United States of America, planet Earth, Milky Way galaxy, fourth dimension. So there it is. Thanks for tuning in. We're going to head down. They call this the Ogden Slip. So they got the tender. That's the tenders you got to take to get out to those. If your sailboat's on a buoy out there in the harbor, floating around. There it is, 400 North Lakeshore. We got 1241, so we'll just head into Ogden Slip here and head back into the city. Dust storms, you getting dust storms? Hey Bush, thanks for tuning in. Anita, yeah, thanks Anita for helping out. Yeah, I felt the earth move under my feet. You got the dust storms. You got the Dust Bowl there in Texas and Oklahoma. Yeah. Yeah, it's windy all weekend. There it is, 400. 20 stories tall. Can you believe that's 20 stories tall already? There's that boat we saw. That boat we saw came up the river, came in the Ogden Slip here. So here we'll head past the Rita Art Galleries here. There's Innisfree. So a lot of times you'll see Innisfree going up the Chicago River. And There it is. You can take a tour on that. There's the St. Regis. With the nice flowers here. Felt the sky came tumbling down. Yeah. Oops. I almost got hit by the branch there. There's Innisfree. Is this based off the Kennedy's boat? I don't know. Here's the Marquette. There's these interesting boats they got here. They're smaller, more intimate cruises you can take. It's like the SS Minnow there. You can take a 3-hour tour there on the Marquette here. Anybody who remembers Gilligan's Island? There's a whole generation of people younger than us that have no idea what Gilligan's Island is. All these references that we're losing. I ran into somebody, they didn't know what Three's Company was. We were talking about San Diego, and I was like, oh, Three's Company. Look at this boat. This is a $2 million boat. That's a $2 million speedboat. Look at that thing. That thing can cut through the waves. Look how sleek and modern that boat is. That's amazing. How you doing there? What a beautiful boat. And there's the boat sales over here. Sometimes we check out the prices. Imagine insuring that boat. Pinstripes, Bistro, Bowling, and Bocce. There I am. How you doing, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to Chicago. Yeah, Carla. Yeah, Kev. Thanks for asking, Nita. Yeah, I'm glad Anita's doing better there, Kevin. Thanks. Yeah. Here's all the yacht sales. See, like this is similar. This might be that boat. This might be that boat we just saw. $1.5 million. $1.5 million for that boat right there. See, here's pontoon boats. See, maybe I could afford that boat. Or to rent it. Hey, the patio's open here. Here's Robert's Pizza. Robert's Pizza. Look, they got the outdoor patio. Look, it's packed. It's packed at lunch. Everybody's getting Robert's Pizza here. People are sitting inside. People are sitting outside. Robert's Pizza here. And smells great. Hey, open up the windows here. There's what we want to see. You got the windows open here. Everybody getting Robert's Pizza. Enjoying the day. Yeah, look at that. Ogden slip here, Chicago, Illinois. There's the boat. See, it came all the way in there. Turning around. There's also Winter's Jazz Club here. We went by Jarita Art Gallery. There's many things right here. The Regal Beagle. Chris, you remember the Regal Beagle? There's the bar they went to there in San Diego. Yeah, I think we were talking about the San Diego Zoo, and I was like, Three's Company, and they're like, what are you talking about, Three's Company? It's like, what are you talking about, Willis? People don't even know different strokes, you know? It's all these cultural references that we used to share. Now there's so many TV stations and media outlets that not everybody watches the same thing. Everybody watches these little silos of different media. That's why I argue there's really nothing true. There's really no TikTok famous people, because you're only famous to the people that are in your little wedge there, and you're not truly universally famous like Taylor Swift. Because I don't think anybody, even the most famous people like Bella Roche and people like that, or Bella Porch, you know, they're only famous for like one viral video, you know. She scrunched her nose, and you know, I know she's beautiful. She is a model. She's an actress. But does anybody else know who Bella Porch is? Here. Oh, I should cross the street here. Let's check out the Tulips on the north side of the street here. It's like that whole Bud Light scandal. That person that was famous there, they used for the Bud Light, the controversial. I didn't even know who they were. I had no idea who they were. You know, the fact that Bud Light decided to use them for their, I'm like, you know, I don't know who this person is. Why should I buy Bud Light because this person's on their beer? You know, same as if like a NASCAR driver was on there. I probably wouldn't know who the NASCAR driver is either, even though we cover the NASCAR. Here's the Tulips here on, this is Illinois Street here, Streeterville, Chicago. We're just checking out the tulips here in the sun. See, I'm back to filming controversial things like tulips and flowers and hearts and squirrels. Yeah, the catfish are jumping the paddle wheel. That's good. Yeah, singing all the good songs here. Hey, look at the tulips there. You can see the Tribune Tower there. Let's see if I do it like that. You can see the background here where we're at. Here we're on Illinois Street here, heading west. See, you can, we're north of the river, north of St. Regis here. Yeah, it's good. Thank you, Anita. We're so happy you're back here. Thanks for being back. I'm glad you're recovering there. Everybody's been probably looking for you there. And look at that. There's the Trump Tower, the Tribune. You can see the Wrigley building. We'll head right over. We're heading right over there. We're heading right towards the Wrigley building. We'll go up through that gap and we'll head back to Michigan Avenue and go back to work here. We got 1248. But these tulips are great. These tulips were not blooming the last time we walked through here, so look how beautiful they are. I just want to document them here. Thanks everybody here. Yeah, it's beautiful. Hey, look at the big green bus there around in the bend. Sheridan Hotel, you can look back. See, we walked all the way around. We were on all sides of the Aon. We walked all the way around it. Nah. Yeah, singing the songs there. Pretty Mama, come take me by the hand. Yeah, it's good songs there. So here. Let's see, maybe if I get out in the median here, yeah, we can maybe use the light here a little bit here. So here, we're in the middle of Fairbanks here. Well, it's Fairbanks going north. It's still Columbus until Grand. It actually changes names. It's so funny, it changes names. It's Columbus going south. Here, look at this amazing view. We get to the Lowe's there, looking south here. There's the NBC, there's the Trump Tower, the Tribune. And we'll wait for these left turns here. So I wonder if I cross. I was trying to time the light there, and that taxi knew exactly what I was doing. But he was more honking at the person in front of him because he didn't want to miss the left turn. And he didn't want me to run in front of him right when they wanted to turn. Here, look at the orange and red tulips here. Look at that, Fairbanks here, this looks nice. Columbus Drive here, we'll head up the stairs. And there we go. Hey, look at that. They used to have an escalator there, but good luck with having an outdoor escalator in this city. Ah, the rain. I was late to work too. I just couldn't get going here. Manic Monday. That's okay. Yeah, sorry. Yes, Pete, there are tulips on Michigan Avenue. Thanks for asking. I'll go show them to you if you wait 15 minutes. We showed them this morning. We showed them last week. I've been showing tulips every day. We got tulips coming out of our ears. Thanks for tuning in here. We'll show them to you. It's such a beautiful time of the year. And yeah, just hold on here a second. Hold your horses. Hold on for one more day. Look at this. So here we're over by the Optima Signature here. This nice residential tower, 2 towers. Brandon got us inside here. Yeah, work. Yeah, I know work is a dirty word for me too. I'm a lazy hippie. I don't mind walking around, but I don't like taking requests because I just consider it, it's a bunch of people just asking me to do stuff, which like any Americans, I consider that it's like you're trying to tell me what to do, what to think. I that's not what people intend. Look at these beautiful. Wow, here we go. Here's the Optima Signature. This is all residential, luxury residential housing here. Look at the tulips. Wow, look at that. I bet you Brandon's loving this. Look at these beautiful tulips here. Optima Signature here. Look at this sculpture. Wow, look at it. And see, it matches the red of the bottom of the building here. We got the red and yellow tulips. What a beautiful spot here. Look, So this is not the tulips on Michigan Avenue, but these are what the tulips on Michigan Avenue look like. And we'll go buy them tonight on TikTok on our way to the beach. We went by the ones on State Street. Hopefully, Pete, you were able... Good, that's okay, Pete. Hey, Pete, if you watched the reruns from last week, we went to State Street, and the tulips on State Street, Pete, were amazing. And they were actually more beautiful than the ones on Michigan Avenue so far. And so here, we'll film these. Look at that. Oh, that's like, yeah, that's like Irish colors. You got white, orange, and green there. Isn't that nice? You see that? So here's City Front Plaza. We'll head past the food trucks here. And now it's feeling hot. Isn't it amazing? Chicagoans know exactly what I'm feeling like. We were like, can't we just go from being, you know, we got to go right to the 80 degrees. Can't we just stay in the 60s and 70s like we had yesterday? Because now I'm sweating. It feels like an 80-degree summer day here next to this concrete. Urban heat line effects. Let's get the camera straight here. Yeah, I'm working on getting the camera straight here. There we go. Yeah, the tools are safe. There you can see the lower level, the under the streets, under the streets of Chicago, how the raised streets of Chicago, how we always talked about that. There's the, hey, there goes the balloon. Can we get it? I guess now it's in the puddle there, Taco Burritos. I thought that guy was chasing it, but he wasn't. He was just blowing through it. If somebody lost their balloon here, probably from the plaza over here. But hey, here we're almost to Michigan Avenue here. We'll see if we see any tulips here. We'll walk through Pioneer Plaza here. Yeah, it's a pretty day. Thanks for being a part of it here. So here we'll walk down this path. 12:54. Thanks for coming along our little tour here. Nothing big, just walking the Millennium Park loop downtown Streeterville. Lakeshore East, stuff that's close to where I work at lunchtime here so I can head back to work. Yeah, pretty day there, the rain. Look at that nice view to the Wrigley Trump Towers behind it there. See that bridgeway there. There's the Museum of Ice Cream. Blue Bottle Coffee. Hey, they're doing a viral dance there. look, yeah, they set it up there. They actually put their phone and stuck it to the wall. There was a way for them to attach the. Oops, there was a way for them to attach the phone to the wall there. Hey, oh, they set it on the little rail there. That's good. So here we go. Here's an Apple store. Beautiful view back to the Loop of Chicago here. Look at all that. Yeah, look at that. People sitting here enjoying the day. Here's the tulips on Michigan Avenue, Pete. Thanks for staying on. And everybody else here. Yeah, the beautiful tulips here on Michigan Avenue. Once again, the bulbs they planted them in the fall. They lay dormant all winter. Now they're popping out here, blessing us with their colors. Look, we got weddings going on here. Look at that. Wedding party here. Yeah, this is the time of year if you got a wedding. Look, we got people with umbrellas here. People take pictures in the median with the view up Michigan Avenue, the wedding dress here.
There's like a swimming pool in there full of sprinklers.
There's the beautiful nuptial couple there. Look at that. Heading down Michigan Avenue. There you go. Look at that. Yeah. Welcome to Chicago. We're strolling with the bride and groom here. Going to take some pictures here. Like this to the tulips. Look at her dress. Look at that. So here's where this new German watch company is going to go. And look at these tulips, Pete. Look at these tulips on Michigan Avenue. Isn't this great? Look at that. What a beautiful day here. Yeah, they're going to take pictures in front of the Tribune the way it looks. They're going to set up right there. What a nice spot here. So here, let's we'll cross the street here. We'll cross Michigan Avenue. So Here's the Tulips looking up Michigan Avenue. You can see up to the water tower. Look at that. Wow. Look at that. You can look straight up to the water tower. We'll go by the Plaza of the Americas, and I got to head back to work here. Another one bites the dust. And another one's gone. And another one's gone. Another one bites the dust. Hey. Another one bites the dust. Yeah, it's a nice wedding song. It makes you... Hey, Lou Malnati's walk this way. Look at that. Walk this way. Hey, Build-A-Bear. Yeah, look, they got the graduation class of 2025 there. Yeah. Look at these tulips. Yeah, look at that. We got the purple and the white. Yeah. Look at that. Look at this beautiful view. We're underneath the Wrigley building here. 333 North Michigan. London House, Mather Tower. Jewelers building. Here's the Wrigley building. We're underneath it here. Hey, he's got the little Spider-Man there. Yeah. We got a Gear Deli here. Hey, there's the saxophonist there. He's gonna play us a tune there. Saxophonist there. Yeah, well, maybe we'll hear him tonight. Or I don't know if he'll still be here tonight. Maybe somebody else will be here. But he's getting ready there. Look at the nice view. You can see the Chicago River. We took the water taxi ride there. The reruns on YouTube and TikTok. And we took that water taxi ride last Wednesday when they didn't lift the bridges. Here, we'll head across the bridge here. We'll get you nice views to the Riverwalk. And hey, they're loading up the tour boats here. Look at that. Yeah. Yeah, everybody's taking pictures here. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, tulips are big, beautiful in Michigan. You go to Holland, Michigan there for the Tulip Festival. I bet it's going on right now. And there's the Riverwalk here in Chicago. Yeah, that's nice. Statue of Liberty on her shirt there. Hey, there's a boat. Is that the same boat we saw in the Ogden slip? I think it is. They're heading back. They're heading back down the river. So on Wednesday, we'll try to catch the bridge lift for the sailboats. And we'll keep you updated. It depends on the weather and if any boats sign up. They've been doing it on Wednesdays and Saturdays. They did not do it last Wednesday. But we'll see if they do it this week. We'll catch it eventually. And maybe tomorrow we'll head along the Riverwalk. And we'll certainly try to head along the Riverwalk on Wednesday. Here I'll swing around and show you the nice view to the towers here. So because they're playing copyrighted music, I'm gonna go away from the copyrighted music here because I don't want to get a copyright strike on our video here. So thanks everybody for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Have a good rest of your Monday there. We'll be on TikTok tonight, and we'll go up to the beach there. So thanks everybody. Have a great day. See you, Christopher and Chris and Pete and Carla and D. Michael, everybody else. Thanks, Pete, for staying on. Lorraine and Anita, I'm glad you're feeling better there. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night there. I'm really Julie Reed there. We'll see y'all later. Thanks a lot, everybody. We'll see you later.